We are back with part 2 of our top 10 year-end countdown show. Geoff Johnson is here. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, let's pick up the countdown with number 5.
All right, it's good to be back with you here in the new year, 2013. I hope it's been good to you so far. Our number 5 tip in the countdown has to do with the contribution module. You've probably sent out your contribution statements, and you may be getting some people calling in and saying that they need to make changes because things were posted to the wrong purpose or perhaps even to the wrong person. How do you fix those things? Well, the tip is to use the Undo Contributions utility found in the inquiry screen of contributions, and it is only available from the inquiry screen in contributions. But from there you can undo the transaction in contributions. It will reverse the activity completely from contributions history and then put a new entry into the contribution processing area. There you can fix the entry and then repost it to the correct person or purpose. Tip number 4 dovetails with tip number 5 because if you're making some changes to contributions or elsewhere, you may need to know where to post them into the general ledger. GL has period 13, or commonly called the audit period, which is a place for you to post changes after the year is closed, and that way you can report on those things without having to change the reports for any given period prior to period 13. So use the audit period and keep your reports clean. Tip number 3, also in contributions, has to do with inactivating old pledges. If you were to inactivate pledges one by one, it would take you a lot of time, but there's a utility in contributions to do it by a date range. So you can specify a beginning and ending date range for a pledge period and inactivate all of the pledges within that range. It'll save yourself a lot of time. Tip number 2 is primarily for those churches who have been using Shelby v5 for several years. You may have data in your live database that is outlived its usefulness, because it may be GL entries from 10 years ago or contributions data from 8 years ago that is not going to come up in any of your usual reporting. There's a utility under the closing procedures link in the Shelby menu to purge your old financial history. And when you purge it, it doesn't just go away. It goes into a database that sits alongside your live data, but takes it out of the live data so that the live data is faster and easier to use. If you ever need to restore that data, there is an option to restore it back, so you can get to it and report on it if you ever need to. And our number 1 tip for 2012-2013 is back up your data. Of course, it's the same tip as 2009's number 1 tip, but this time I want to encourage you to back up Shelby DB Purge as well as your main Shelby DB database. Shelby DB Purge is where all that financially purged data is going to live next door to your live Shelby DB. So make sure you back it up. You may not have to back it up nightly because you won't be purging nightly, but make sure you have it on a schedule, and then make sure that, like Shelby DB, you have it backed up to tape or other media that you can take off site and keep that safe.
Chris Benson, Support Manager, is here with us again. Chris, thanks for joining us. I know you guys are going to be working extra hours in January. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and anything else you want to mention?
That's correct, Don. We have extended January hours similar to what we've done in years past. We'll be open an additional hour each day from January 7th through the 18th. So we'll be open and available to help you from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we'll also be available 2 Saturdays during the month of January. That's January 12th and 19th. We'll be available in the mornings from 8 to 12 to assist you. From the support department and the rest of the staff at Shelby Systems, we want to wish you a happy new year and let you know that we're here to help you in whichever way you need.
Merry Christmas and welcome to our annual year-end show. Joining us today is Education Team Lead Geoff Johnson. He'll be sharing his top 10 year-end tips for 20... Let's try it again.
All right, our number 9 tip is only for those that have an accounting year equal to their fiscal year. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, that's stupid. All right, this is tip number 9, take 2. That's correct.
That's correct.
There are things that, Sorry, I hate the word things. Tip number 6 is about the membership module. Not a financial module at all, but there are routine cleanup activities that you need to do on a regular basis.
Here comes Scottish all of a sudden.